Hello and welcome to the Film Pulse Podcast. This is episode number 534. My name is Adam Patterson. With me today, we've got Kevin Rakestraw. Hey, Kevin. This week on the show, we'll be taking a look at Bring Her Back, which is out now on VOD platforms. We're also going to be going over someone we're watching on the watch list. And this week's new releases in theaters, VOD and Blu-ray. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's go ahead and jump straight on in to Bring Her Back. This is directed by Danny and Michael Philippou. This is the team, the twin team behind Talk to Me. And then they also, this is their Raka Raka on YouTube. So these are the brothers who went from being YouTube famous to actually making some pretty interesting horror movies. Well, I have a synopsis here. A brother and sister uncover a terrifying ritual at the secluded home of their new foster mother. Kevin, we'll start it with you. What were your initial impressions of Bring Her Back?
Oh man, I wasn't a huge fan of Talk to Me. It was like marginally enjoyable or interesting. I don't know if enjoyable is the word, not the correct word, I don't think. So going in to Bring Her Back, like the expectations weren't too high, but god damn, they were not high, and they weren't even close to being met at all.
Oh,
I fucking hated this thing. Hated it.
Boy.
Hated it. Like, it ruined my weekend. Hated.
Yeah.
I was fucking pissed last night before going to bed. It's just one of those types of things where, either like right afterwards or, like 5 to 10 minutes afterwards, you're just like, what the fuck? What? Like the decisions that I'm making in my life. What? Like, what the fuck am I doing?
Well, sometimes you got hits and sometimes you got misses. You never know.
True.
Going into it.
True.
I mean, and this, first of all, I liked this movie. I didn't love it or anything, but I think I'm definitely much higher than you, I think, on
yeah,
this.
doesn't take much,
But like this is, I went into this with pretty high expectations, and I think that might be part of the problem with me is that I went in, maybe my expectations were a little bit too high. However, I still came away from it enjoying it overall. This also, like, this is a movie that's being pretty much universally praised. So, I don't think that you should be questioning your life decisions. I think that it was okay. Like, like if you decided that you wanted to watch Shane from 1953 now, that I'd be like, okay, well, I don't know what you're doing, Kevin. You're wasting your time watching Shane. That's a little foreshadowing for later. But uh, yeah, I like this movie. What were your qualms with it?
I think my biggest qualm is a decent number of these types of films of, like, I don't know if they're all the elevated horror air quote.
A24 horror.
Yeah, like, I don't know if it's that. I just call it, like, to borrow a term that my wife uses, emotional horror. Where it's like everyone's just so emotional. It's either about trauma or it's about grief.
Yeah.
And it's just tough. Grief is tough. And they're just so fucking serious. And I hate them. Just lighten the fuck up. Because, I mean, if you're going to be that serious, have something to say. Because this movie's just kind of like, man, grief, that'll fuck you up. You'll do some wild stuff.
Yeah, I think
And,
it
like,
should be
that's
noted
it.
that you're not an Ari Aster fan either. I
No.
can't remember. Were you weren't even really that into Hereditary, right? Or were you?
No.
I think that you were a
That
little
one
bit
was
like
okay.
mid.
That one was okay.
Because
And
to me, this is
whatchamacallit was
like
okay. Midsummer was all right.
to me, this was sort of like this movie reminds me of like it's definitely got somewhat of a Hereditary vibe to me. It is going for that sort of elevated horror, which do somewhat agree with you in that, like, I'm kind of over the elevated horror thing, like, especially when there's a lot of movies that attempt the elevated horror and fail
Yeah.
miserably at it. Now, to me, this is not necessarily a failure. It's just that it's something that I'm kind of over for right now.
Yeah,
Like,
and I think that's the thing at this point, like once this gets into it and you're like, "Oh, cool, another like super serious horror film about grief. Great. Can't wait." And it just like it has nothing new to say. Nothing, like and it's not that it even doesn't have anything new to say. Like it doesn't even say it in a different way. Like it doesn't do anything.
yeah,
Like the
yeah,
like the kind of the setup concept, like from the outset, the Russian snuff film, that's disturbing. That's creepy. And then that's just kind of like it's not even really an accessory anymore. It's just kind of like, hey, you got the kind of what's going on, right? Now let's get to the serious stuff.
yeah, yeah. The film, the sort of VHS thing that they showed at the beginning and a couple other times as Sally Hawkins' character was like referencing it
Mhm.
as if she had to go back and like take notes on what they did.
Yeah,
Like,
I think before you start, I think you should have just scanned that tape. Play the tape, study the film, take some notes.
it's
Just
also
really
not.
have that thing down pat before you
Yeah, I mean,
start this
it's
process.
not a super complicated ritual either, really. Like, the ritual itself it's pretty simple. Like, I feel like you could pretty easily memorize it. Although, because it does involve like killing children, maybe she did want to sort of refresh herself just to make sure, just to be 100% certain that she wasn't gonna mess up one of the steps and cause some kind of calamity. But at any rate, I thought that it was very effectively creepy. Like that kid was very disturbing. A lot of the stuff that he did, like biting the table, and there's just like there were like a lot of those sequences that just like really kind of get under your skin. Now, I will say that like some of those, like the table biting scene, felt like the only reason they existed was to throw in like a something to creep you out, like something to disturb you. Because like
Yes.
why, like why? Why would
Yeah.
why would
Because
why
like
would he do
outside
that?
of that, and I didn't even really get to this because outside of that, like there's not a whole lot going on here. Like it's pretty boring. It just
Yeah,
drags its feet. Like
I don't
this movie felt the real feel runtime. Oh boy.
I will agree. It did feel a bit lengthy. I wouldn't necessarily say that I was bored by it. However, a lot of the movie, I was just kind of like telling myself, please, like, please don't be what I think it is. Please don't be what I think it is. Like, because I went into this movie completely cold. Like, I didn't like I knew that I was gonna want to see this regardless. So I tried to avoid any kind of like clips, trailers. Like I went into it knowing nothing. So, when they introduced Sally Hawkins, where she's like clearly not right, and like it seemed very clear from the first moments that this brother and sister were put into her care that something was terribly off. And I was just like, ugh, I feel like we've seen this before. And while, yeah, I think we have, I will still say that like it mostly worked for me. Like it still I'd say that it still mostly worked. There were some really intense moments. I liked the scares in it. I thought that they were pretty good. It wasn't quite as intense as I had hoped it would be. I didn't think it would be fun necessarily, but that's not really what I was looking for in a movie like this. Uh, I I do agree with you though that like I think that a lot of you don't always need some sort of metaphor or message with horror. I think that like horror as a genre is known for having, you know, a lot of kind of symbolism and metaphor with it, and that's all fine. But I think that there's ways to do it that are like a lot more subtle, and I think that with horror, the horror should always be at the forefront, um,
Yeah. And
because that makes
I
everything else so much more impactful. And while I don't necessarily have a problem with elevated horror, just to go back to what we were saying earlier, like I am kind of over it a little bit.
and maybe that's the issue that I'm having is that a lot of time, like especially with this film, where like the metaphor messaging is at the forefront. Like it's like it feels like almost every scene is just reminding you, like, hey, it's about grief. Grief is bad.
Hmm.
It's tough. It's tough on people. And you're just like, yeah, okay, well, like the next scene, can you lead with horror? Like I get it. I get the grief thing. You don't have to keep like slamming it over my head every scene. I get it. Just like have some confidence in what you're doing. Like I'll get the message. I got it already. And furthermore, I think just the opening just sets it up way too high because you're like, damn, this is really fucking disturbing.
It's a very intense
This
opening,
is
yeah.
yeah, and you're like, this is gonna be intriguing. There's some sort of ritual thing going on here. We're cross continental. Like, oh man, what's gonna happen here? And then it's just like Sally Hawkins being freaking weirdo.
Yeah. I mean, like, even the scene when they found their father and stuff, like, that whole sequence, I was just like, "Oh my god, this movie's gonna be brutal." But, it certainly has disturbing and sort of cringe-inducing moments. I mentioned the table biting scene, and there's a bunch of other stuff in there that I think works works pretty effectively. However, it's like, those moments come few and far between. I think that Talk to Me managed to do a better job of balancing out those horror scenes, and like I thought that Talk to Me was just a lot more inventive and just fun overall. I liked the sort of world building more in Talk to Me, and I liked the characters more also. And like Sally Hawkins does a fantastic job in this. I mean, like she's an incredible actor, and I think that she gave a really great performance. I think that she had a lot to work with here with this character. I mean, it's a pretty complex character, but well, I guess that's the end of my thought for that. I think she did a really good job.
Oh yeah, no, the performances are great. There's no doubt about that. It's just everything else about it. I hated. Just hated. This is a dark
So
cloud over.
yeah, so the main thing is it seems like, and also looking at sort of the stuff that you've been watching lately, it seems like this just isn't the type of movie that you're in the headspace for right now.
Well, yeah, when it's done poorly, like here. Yeah. Like I just
Mm.
these guys they don't have it. Like in terms of like tackling like a serious subject, let's say, and using like grief effectively as a metaphor, where it's not really used as a metaphor here because it's just it's forward
Very,
facing
yeah,
all
it's
the
it's
time.
very at the forefront here.
Like they're just not good enough. Like I'm sorry, but just not good. Like the writing's bad. Just the structure of it's bad. Just everything's bad. Like
Yeah,
that like
the
they do have chops for like visual things, like visually disturbing, visually upsetting, unsettling. Yes, they have a knack for that. I'll give them that. But all the other stuff, they do not possess at all.
yeah, this is their second feature. So I think that, for a sophomore role, I think that it works fine, but yeah, certainly not on the same level as Talk to Me for me. But it seems like you just outright hate these guys. You freaking hate their guts.
Hell, no. I mean, after this, maybe I'm leaning more towards that way because I didn't mind Talk to Me that much. I thought it was fine. Like it's had some nifty ideas.
Hmm.
It wasn't all bad. Like I enjoyed myself for the most part with that one.
Yeah,
But
I think that. that this is like a step back. Although like yeah, the subject matter and stuff is more mature. And I think that like, I don't know, like even like technically speaking, I'm not sure that this is like better than Talk to Me. Like I think Talk to Me looked great and had a lot of really great visuals in it too. So yeah, I would
It's
say
yeah.
that it's just not on the same level. I'd say if you're looking for like, a solid elevated horror movie and you're not inundated with them as we are, then maybe it's worth a look. Although I think from Kevin's perspective here, it seems like it's an absolute avoid at all costs.
I just feel like you have far better options.
I agree with
But
that.
yeah, if you've watched all those options and this is the only thing left, I don't know.
Still avoid it.
Do something else.
Mm.
Go outside. Go to your friend's house. Call your mom. Go to your grandmother's house. Just do something else. There's so many things that you could do. Like I was actually kind of upset that this movie was keeping me from like brushing my teeth.
Eh.
So it's like I could be brushing my teeth right now, taking my contacts out, getting ready for bed.
All right, let's bring her back. Kevin, what are you gonna give this out of 10?
I give it like a 1.
1 out of 10.
1 out of 10.
Wow. I think that's crazy harsh. That's so harsh. I'm like a six and a half. I'm six and a
What
half.
did you what did you expect? I just said I was like I wanted to brush my teeth instead.
I mean,
What
I get
what
it.
type of rating do you think I was going to give it?
I was thinking you were probably gonna sit at like a 3 or 4.
No. Fucking hated this shit. Hated it.
Wild.
I hated my time so much.
That is so wild. I mean, I didn't expect you to love it or anything, but I think that you hated it more than I expected. That's for sure. All right, again, let's bring her back. That's on VOD platforms right now.
Come back.
Uh, let's jump into some of what we've been watching. Kevin, I believe it is your turn this week. What do you got?
Oh, I only have one, but it was a good one. And maybe this was part of the problem too with Bring It Back. It was on the heels of Final Destination Bloodlines.
Oh man,
Yeah,
yeah.
right?
I mean, it's
Like,
how are you gonna follow up Final Destination Bloodlines with Bring Her Back? I mean, to me, there's no comparison.
no, it failed miserably. So maybe that it wasn't entirely the movie's fault, following Bloodlines, which Final Destination Bloodline, outside of some like sketchy CGI stuff that just made things look a bit too like glossy. They're just too nice. I don't know like the terminology for it, but it just looks too
I know exactly what you're saying. Like, I
yeah,
know.
too polished. Just too polished. It has a mirrored finish. Instead, like you just went a bit too far with the surface finish.
I will
But
say though, sorry, just really quickly on the CG thing. They did use a lot of practical effects in this though. Like there was like the trash compactor sequence. Like they did that practically. I saw like a behind the scenes thing on how they did it
yeah,
and it was pretty cool.
yeah. That's what I mean. Like even like I said, some questionable CGI stuff where it's just a bit too polished. But even then, like Friday night, Final Destination. I'm looking for something, right? And it delivered exactly what I was looking for. Especially because I got home after work. It's fucking awful. I had to mow. It's like 90 some degrees out, humid. Came very close to passing out. And then finally get settled in. It's like, all right, Final Destination. Save this day. Save it. That's a lot on you, but can you do it? And it delivered. It delivered even more so than I could ever expected. Just great, great death. Even have a lawnmower death, which was fantastic.
Yeah, there was that. That was a
Just
great one.
phenomenal. It was great because that's something that I worry about all the time. Not necessarily the way that it played out, but
Yeah,
something along those lines. MRI thing, yeah, I want that. Thank you.
man.
it hit me with the heights right off the bat, and he threw me for a loop because you're doing the opening disaster sequence, but there's no premonition, and it's just over. And I'm like, wait, what are we doing? We're finally messing with the formula. Like you shouldn't do that. It's like it's like the Final Destination formula is a lot like death. You shouldn't mess with it. Just keep doing what you've been doing because that's what the
Hmm.
people want.
Yep.
But came back, they explained the fake out to me, and I was like,
Hmm.
oh, thank God, thank you.
Yeah, they're not gonna mess with it that much. That's what I mean. That's kind of what I was saying when I talked about this the other week. Was like they they add a couple twists to it, but not so much that it like over explains the
Yeah,
formula or changes it up in any kind of drastic way. Like I liked the whole family bloodline
well, that's
thing.
what I
Like
loved about it.
I thought that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, because it's like, yeah, it's like everyone, and you're like,
Yeah, and,
"Mhm,
and like
cool, cool.
it's an entire family tree, which I think is so funny and clever. And the fact that like, those people weren't even involved in the premonition or the accident or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
the big event. Like they're just innocent bystanders who happened to be born after this like situation occurred, which I think is like it's a really cool idea, I think.
I do. I enjoyed it very much. The only other thing that was like kind of weird is I was like, this is a lot like David Gordon Green's Halloween. Like the whole setup with the mom and
Yeah.
like it was just like, oh, okay, that's bizarre, but sure.
Yeah, sort of. I mean, I think that the payoff was better in this.
Oh yeah, it's 100 times better than David Gordon Green's Halloween.
I enjoyed I like and they stuck to their guns with the ending too. Like they did not it wasn't a
Yes,
cop out. Like they went for it,
they sure did.
which
And
I love.
God, did I appreciated it. I
Yeah.
really did.
All right. Yeah, that's Final Destination Bloodlines. That's out now on VOD platforms, and we both highly recommend that one. Unlike Bring Her Back, which is Kevin's most hated movie of the year so far.
Yes, true. It truly is correct.
I saw a movie called Sovereign, which came out this weekend on VOD platforms, directed by Christian Swagel. Now, one of the things that I like to do occasionally, not a lot, but occasionally, as I'm scrolling through whatever feed that I'm, doom scrolling through, I will sometimes happen upon body cam videos or courtroom videos, either one. And I love watching videos involving sovereign citizens and just how ridiculous sovereign citizens are. I love to see judges just completely shut them down or cops just completely call them on their bullshit. And it's just funny to me that like these people are still trying their thing and they're like it never works. I don't think that it has ever worked, and yet like they're still trying to game the system by, you know, oh, I wasn't driving my car. I was traveling in my property or whatever they whatever they do. But this is a movie about a sovereign citizen. It's a father and son, and the father's played by Nick Offerman, the son's played by Jacob Tremblay. And it's yeah, like it's a true story. I didn't actually look up the true story prior to or after this, but it's about a guy who is like a really outspoken sovereign citizen. Like he does podcasts and travels and does like speaking engagements and stuff. And it's like about his kind of increasing battle with the law. And it eventually gets to a point where there is a shootout that occurs by the end, and Dennis Quaid is in it. He plays like a police chief. It's not good. It's actually really bad. It's a movie that probably shouldn't even exist. Like there's nothing in this movie. It's just, I guess maybe the true story was just not interesting enough. Like why? Like this didn't need to be a movie when it could have been like a one paragraph online news article. Like it just there was just no point to it. because it didn't dig really that deeply into kind of the psyche of these sovereign citizens. The only thing that I liked is that one aspect of all of those sovereign citizen videos that you never get to see is how these people, like, how their whole, like, ethos and their whole, like, way of thinking affects their family members, specifically, like, their kids, and, like, the sort of negative effect that that has on their kids, because, this guy just messed up his kid, like, really bad because of his stupid outlook on life and the government and everything. So that was like the only thing that I kind of liked about this, but the problem was like nothing really justified the actions of Jacob Tremblay's character and where, like, what culminates. Like, it just doesn't really make any sense. So yeah, I can't recommend it. It's called Sovereign, but it is out now on VOD platforms if you're interested. Rather I would just recommend watching, like, one of those courtroom videos where somebody tries to pull the sovereign citizen thing and they get hilariously shut down. That's more fun than this movie. Have you ever seen any of those sovereign
No,
citizen
I
videos?
have not. Nope.
Oh man, you got to check them out. They're great. The final one that I'll mention is called Sister Midnight. This is directed by Karen Kandahari. This is it's a bit of a genre mashup, this one. At its core, I would call it a comedy. It takes place in Mumbai, and it's about a woman who is is in an arranged marriage with this man who is just like, he's just a loser. Like, he's just a spineless little loser, and he lives in this, like, shack, and, like, her life is just like, she's just not ready to live the life of a doting housewife. Like, that's just not her. And she's, like, kind of thrust into this, like, pretty bad situation, and it just sort of immediately has it just takes its toll on her. Like, the women in the neighborhood are, like, kind of bitchy and gossipy, and she's not getting along with them, and, like, she's just bored. She doesn't know how to cook. She doesn't wanna cook. So she, like, finds a job as a janitor, like, working the night shift, but it's like she doesn't have a car or transportation, so she has to walk 4 hours to get to her job.
Jesus.
Um, yeah, and all of this stuff, like, just starts taking a toll on her, and she begins to, like, change, and it things kinda take a little bit of a supernatural twist. Like I said, it is kind of a genre mashup, so they do play with some kind of, like, I would say, like, light horror elements here, but it's also, like, this almost kind of absurdist comedy too. Like, there's these really weird it's almost like it's broken up into, like, kind of vignettes. I loved how it was presented. There's, like, stop motion in it, like, there's a lot of stop motion goats that are poking around, stop motion birds and stuff, which I loved all the stop motion in this. Really interesting music choices too, like music that doesn't necessarily go along with the scene, but also somehow it also kind of works. There's a lot of really good dolly shots in this too. Overall, I really liked it. It's like kind of a chaotic movie. Like, it's a little bit messy, it's a little bit all over the place, but I find it to be it's very funny, and overall I enjoyed it, and kind of the kind of crazy places that it goes. Again, that's called Sister Midnight. That's
Yeah, this
on,
sounds.
VOD platforms.
I like this.
It's unique. It's definitely unique. There's some really interesting things going on in this movie. You know, eh, there's, like, elements of it that we've certainly seen before that are not necessarily new. However, it's still presented in a way that is entertaining despite not really bringing us anything new. And it definitely goes to some places that I think you you won't necessarily expect. So yeah, I definitely recommend it. It's not for everybody, but I think and also, like, it looks really good too. I loved the camera work and cinematography in this is quite good. So, yeah, give it a look. Sister Midnight.
Excited.
Yeah. Radhika Ap Apte? I'm probably saying that wrong, but she stars in it, and she's fantastic too. I just wanted to give her a quick shout out because she did a really she's incredible in it, and to the point where I, like, actually kinda wanna seek out some more of the stuff that she's done in the past. I know that she did a Netflix show called Ghoul, which I wanna check out. All right. Let's go ahead and talk about some new releases. This week in theaters, we got I Know What You Did Last Summer. This is the remake, obviously. Actually, it's not a remake, it's a sequel because I believe that Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jennifer Love Hewitt are in it. So
Oh, okay.
it's like a reboot, I guess.
All right.
I have no desire to see it. I thought that the original was okay, but nothing
Yeah.
special.
Yeah. I agree.
Got Smurfs coming out. This is yeah, the new Smurfs movie, aka Rihanna is Smurfette,
Oh, okay.
because it almost seems like every poster, every trailer, everything that I've seen for this says Rihanna is Smurfette. Like, almost to the point where it feels like that's part of the title. Rihanna is Smurfette, Smurfs. Like, I can't
Interesting.
figure out why they're pushing that so hard.
Oh, but man, because Brianna puts butts in seats, especially when she's Smurfette.
I guess I guess so. I guess those little children really love the idea of Rihanna being Smurfette.
Oh, 100%.
Anyway, it looks bad. Eddington is also coming out, the new Ari Aster. Pretty excited for this.
What's it called?
Eddington,
Oh, okay.
Joaquin Phoenix, and Pedro
Pedro
Pascal.
Pascal.
Yeah. All right. In VOD this week, on July 15th, we got How to Train Your Dragon. That's the live action one. Doesn't seem necessary for this
Why?
movie to exist.
Why is there a live action one?
I've seen a couple clips and stuff for this, or maybe it was the trailer that I saw, and it looks like it's basically just a shot for shot remake of the
Why?
original one.
Why? Why do we do
And I
this?
gotta say, like, I watch a lot of kids movies these days, and I watched How to Train Your Dragon, the original one, not too long ago, and it still holds up. Like, it's just not necessary to have this live action one. Like, the original one is still really good. Like, the animation is pretty good
They
still, and
honestly, they probably make more money if they just re-released it into theaters.
yeah, like, if they did a 4K remaster of the original one, like, I think that would probably generate more revenue, but who knows? Megan 2.0 is coming out on VOD also on the 15th. We also got Don't Log Off and Iconic. And then on the 18th, we have Guns Up, starring Kevin James and Christina Ricci.
Thumbs up.
Guns Up. What is this about? It's a crime comedy, maybe? When a job goes horribly wrong, an ex-cop and family man who moonlights as a mob henchman has one night to get his family out of the city.
Oh man.
Oh boy.
Look at him on the front.
I know. Kevin
Okay.
James, action star. We also have St. Clair coming out. Uh, what is this? St. Clair. In a small town, a solitary woman is haunted by voices that lead her to assassinate ill intended people and get away with it until her last kill sucks her down a rabbit hole riddled with corruption, trafficking, and visions from the beyond. Interesting.
Right, Philippou in there.
Hell yeah. We got Finally Dawn, Woken, and A- Atrabilius. Atrabilius. Uh, Netflix this week, we got Apocalypse in the Tropics. That's on the 14th. And then on the 18th, we have Wall to Wall and I'm Still a Superstar. Pretty light week.
Yeah, truly is.
all around, unless there's something not on this list. Blu-ray this week, we got Shane coming out in 4K from 1953. Never saw Shane, but never really cared to see Shane, honestly.
Never, yeah, never going to.
Nope, never. I'm also never going to. It's interesting to think about sometimes, like when you hear the name of a movie and you say to yourself, I will never see that in my entire life.
Never,
Like that
never
movie will
watch it.
never enter my eyeballs.
Correct.
I don't know. It's kind of interesting when you think about it sometimes.
It's liberating sometimes to just know that never,
I
never
will
doing it.
never see Shane. Fuck that movie. Frailty's coming out in 4K. I think it's about time I revisit Frailty. I was a big fan of that one.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one.
Fury's coming out from 2014. That's the tank one,
Yeah.
the war movie.
Also, not gonna watch it.
Well, yeah.
Not doing it.
Ghoulies 3.
Oh
Ghoulies
yeah.
Go to College from 1991.
Oh man, Ghoulies getting an education.
Yeah. This is
Good.
part of the Vestron collector series. I think it's cool that they're still rocking out that Vestron collector series. They're still putting those out so many years later. I don't know if I ever saw all the Ghoulies movies. They're pretty fun. I definitely never saw Ghoulies 3. I think I would have remembered Ghoulies going to college.
I think so because I pulling it up on Letterbox. Every single review is just like, "Fuck this movie for letting the Ghoulies talk."
Oh, yeah, no, I think I would have remembered that.
Everyone is just very angry that the
But
Ghoulies talk. But again,
now I feel like I need to see it.
but that what do you expect? They went to college. Now they're talking.
Yeah, I mean they're getting an education, they're learning. Battle Beyond the Stars from 1980 coming out in 4K. We got The Surfer, RoboCop 2 coming out in 4K. Devil's Sword from 1984. Rolls Royce Baby from 1975. She Kills from 2016. Capote from 2005. Crumbcatcher from 2023 is getting an Arrow release. It's always rare when Arrow puts out a newer release, so I might check that one out. Let's see. The Actor from earlier this year, Queens of Drama. That's pretty much it. What about Criterion's this week?
Oh, we got one box set, and that's The Adventures of Antoine Donnell. 5 films from Truffaut. Yeah, I
Oh
mean
boy.
these things have been on Criterion for ages.
Individually or as a
4K
box set?
as a box, like individually and as a box set. This is like
Okay.
one of the old ones, but getting the 4K, getting the old 4K update.
All right, cool. Yeah, that'll work. I think that's going to do it for this week. Thank you so much for listening. You can send us your questions and topics to podcast@filmpulse.net. And if you could, consider giving us a review on your platform of choice. For Kevin Rakestraw, my name is Adam Patterson. We'll see you next week.